Hi everyone. So we've had the Jeep now for about 2 months. I've put about 1,000 miles on the clock, I think, coming up to now around about 43,000 miles. So today I was going to give you a quick rundown on what I think about it, some things I've learnt, and generally have a good look round. First of all, just looking at the Jeep, it's the Rubicon model, and I must say it looks absolutely stunning. One of the things I have noticed, which is quite interesting, is this Jeep wave. Everywhere I go, if you ever see a Jeep come the other way, I've not seen one Wrangler that hasn't given me a wave. So it's quite nice. Obviously there's not that many Wranglers in the UK, so it gives you something a little bit different to look at. This one, you might wonder as well, it's a Rubicon. The Rubicons normally come with the rock sliders on them. In fact, I've got them in the garage. They came with the car, but the previous owner decided they wanted to be able to fit the side step on it to be able to make it easier for getting in and out. Well, that's great timing as well. I was just about to show you the roof panels. It's just started to rain. Let's just actually whip those out quick. And even when it is raining, it actually is really very quick to actually take these out. Inside, just a quick catch here inside. Undo, 3 turnbuckles, 1, 2, 3. And that simply lifts out. I won't take it out now because it is raining. Clip it back in. On this model, I don't know if you ever look inside, we actually have got the extra soundproofing in there. I haven't really made a comparison to a vehicle which hasn't got the soundproofing, but I'm guessing from what I've heard as well, that makes a big difference. So again, I'd highly recommend you get that because it isn't the quietest of cars. On here, I've got the 33-inch BF Goodrich KO2s. These are the all-terrains. It actually comes as standard for the Rubicon with the mud terrains, and I've got those in the garage as well because the previous owner gave me those. With the all-terrains on, it's actually quite quiet. It's not too bad at all. I actually say, in comparison to the D3, which I've got those Discovery, the Cooper Discoverer STT Pros, overall it's slightly quieter inside here, especially at speed. You get obviously some of the wind noise, obviously from all around the roof panels, and obviously the actual shape of it, you get a lot more wind noise. While we're up here as well, I think nearly all of them come with this little Easter egg. But you see here, if I just wipe off that bit of rain off there, you can see on there we've got those little flip-flops which are on there. All these nice little touches that you can find all around the vehicle. We'll show a few more of those later on as well. Coming around to the front, maybe the rain's just about stopped. First thing you notice as well, it doesn't say Jeep on the front. So how does anyone know it's a Jeep? Well, obviously it looks exactly like a Jeep, so it's pretty obvious why they didn't bother putting it on there, because that iconic 7 slots on the front. The other thing which is quite interesting as well, it doesn't have a handle inside the vehicle to be able to open the bonnet or the hood. It actually unclips with these here, simply like this. And on the European models, I'm not sure it's the same on all the US models, actually has a key holder in here as well, or a key lock, where simply put the key in, turn, and then it comes open. Pretty heavy hood on this as well, or bonnet, because we want to keep it English. It has no gas struts in it to hold it up. It has got an arm that comes down, but the other thing you can do, and I want to be real careful with this because it's quite windy now, is you can lift that directly straight back up and lay that back onto the top there as well. Giving you full exposure, get in there nicely to be able to check it out. Comes the rain even more now. One of the things I am interested to do in the future is to fit some extra lights on it. We'll have a look in the inside of the Jeep in a minute, but it comes pre-fitted with auxiliary power supply and the switches in the Jeep. And down here you can see very nicely they've got the wiring already set up for you, so we should be able in future just take those wires straight out, pop them through to here. We can see as well you can get those pod lights that fit onto the top here and fit them up straight and easy. Let's pop the bonnet or the hood back down. One of the things I didn't realise when I got the Jeep, I'd seen all the US models and they have this nice halo that goes around the outside. These are the LED lights, and from what I understand all the European models come with the LEDs fitted from factory, but it has no halo. So you just get the standard LED in the middle. I'll show you that now. Nice Aventador just driving by as well. When I bought the vehicle, I was aware that it has got some galvanic corrosion on it here. This is actually apparently very, very common. What happens is the aluminium doors come in contact with the steel, and that creates a galvanic interaction and causes that blistering that's under there. Jeep are very aware of that. I've taken this in, had the photographs taken, and I'm waiting to actually get it booked in now to have this door completely stripped down and repainted. In fact, it's on a couple of the doors as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, that shouldn't be a problem. It's all a big question of making sure that this contact area points between them is completely coated. In terms of taking stuff off, taking those doors off should be pretty easy. I actually haven't yet taken these off myself. Screw in here, cap on the inside, you pull off, all the doors come out. One of the things that I have done, and we'll show you a quick video snippet where we took off the roof itself. This roof, again, you've probably seen that, but it's actually just got 8 bolts that you need to undo. We'll also show you where you can store those away in the back. It weighs around about 70 kilos. 70 kilos for 2 people is okay, but what I would say is it's a bit challenging because of the size of it. So I really think it's like a 3-person job, or if you can get some type of hoist set up in your garage, it'd be cool that you can actually lift the whole thing off. I do like the blind spot mirrors. When you're going down the road and you have someone come past you on either side, it'll give you the warning in the mirror. And that's one of the reasons as well, when they designed the new JL, in the rear lights they actually had to make these stick out a little bit further so they could actually do that, because it uses a radar type of sensor. It is pretty cool as well. I have found when reversing out of spaces, because obviously this is a big vehicle, it's not always so easy to see where you're going. We'll have a look at the camera in a moment, but it's really nice that actually also gives you that warning if there are vehicles passing behind you. Talking of the camera on the back, which is actually in the middle of the wheel. One of the things that I heard as well is that this camera, normally obviously made of plastic, but good old Jeep, don't know if you can hear that, they've made it out of metal, because obviously when you've got a big wheel on the back there, and if you're trying to take the wheel off and you bang that with a plastic or something, I'm sure that would break. Other thing is you have got an adjustable height on the high level brake light. So if you do fit a set of 35s, then in theory you can lift that up. Although I have heard as well you have to be slightly careful with that, because putting too much weight on the back, using the standard mounting on here, there is some risk that if you go too heavy, that might actually buckle and bend this panel in here. Nice little information panel on the back here as well, which talks all about what your wading depths are, and what else does it say, Harvey? It gives you your length and dimensions and things like that as well. The standard wading depth that it says on here is 30 inches at 5 miles per hour. That actually equates to 76 centimetres, which is pretty reasonable. Although actually if you compare that to something like the new Land Rover Defender, when that's on coils that's at 85, or if it's on air and you've got it on the full height, that'll actually go up to 90. But also remember, it's really, really much easier to modify your Jeep. Most people don't normally run with the 33-inch tyres if they're really getting serious. They're going to run with a set of 35s. When you put a set of 35s on, it will just about fit, from what I'm told, if you have a Rubicon, but ideally you want to be able to lift that as well. If we lift this one up with the 2.5-inch lift plus the 35s, then you're at that same 900mm, 90 centimetre height for your wading depth. One of the things I am missing comparing it to the Discovery 3/4 is there's no fold out pieces. I can just sit on this little bit here, but one of the good modifications, which I'm definitely going to buy next, I think, is to get one of these little shelves. You can get these shelves that just bolt on here, fold down. I know our friend Tony from Modified Jeeps UK, I know he actually makes some of those as well. Fold down, a nice little slide out piece of chopping board as well, so you should be able to get your cooker set up and everything on there. Another cool thing, I'm not sure if it's because people do have leaky roofs as well, is they actually have got an integrated drain plug directly in the floor mats. So you see here, down here, Harv, this little bung, I can pull that out and you've got a drain plug that's going to take your water directly out of the vehicle. as I said, getting in the vehicle is nice and easy with the steps because you can just jump on there, pull on the handle and jump in. And a couple of things I wanted to point out in here which have interested me. First thing is, it's obviously designed for America. Handbrakes not next to you, but obviously on the other side, further away. I showed you as well taking off the roof panels. You actually have to take off the passenger side first before you can take off the driver's side, or at least you have to loosen it, which is a little bit annoying, meaning you can't just easily take out the driver's side. What I am being pretty impressed with is the fuel consumption. You can see on here, after I think my 700 miles we'll check in a moment, it's got 31.9 miles to the gallon, and that's quite a lot better than the old Discovery. Let's have a look actually on there. As you can see there, 941 miles and I've averaged 31.9, and I have had a complete range of driving styles in there, going from being down the motorway to back lanes and just a little bit of off-road, and we haven't taken it over anything really serious yet. That's yet to come. Just like in the Discovery, we've got the information about the off-road pages in here. Again, you can see the wheels are moving as I turn the steering wheel, and you've got all sorts of other interesting things. It tells you like what mode you're in. I'm currently in the 2 high. In here, rather than like in the Land Rover where it's working 4-wheel drive as you're going down the road all the time using the differentials, this actually uses a completely different methodology. So normally when you're driving down roads, you can have it in 2-wheel drive only, just the rear wheels being driven. It has options for 4 high auto and part-time, and also 4 low. The important thing here to understand is that it doesn't have a differential between the front and the rear, so therefore when you have it in that 4 low, the front and rear are completely locked together. That's obviously great for off-roading, but obviously not great if you're on-road, because you get what you call binding, where the actual wheels are going to create pressure against each other that can actually damage the gearbox. So keep it in 2 high if you're on the road. When you go off-road, obviously, you then can be fully locked up, especially when you bring in the front and rear diff locks here. This only works when you're in the 4 low, and also on the Rubicon models as well, you also get the automatic sway bar detachment. This will actually take off the, as we call it in England, the anti-roll bar, so you get that full articulation as the wheels are moving over any undulations. One of the annoying things I do find is having the window switches in the middle. But some people say, well, they put the window switches in the middle so they're not on the doors. But in that case, well, why does the door have the mirror controls, the locking controls and everything else? They could have still just put them on the doors. And the other really annoying thing, it says auto. Yes, it's auto down, but no auto up. So yeah, that's a 1 point away, definitely. Thing I haven't really tested out yet, which we're going to do soon, which I think is really cool, is instead of having the normal type of hill descent, this mode here is the crawl mode, and you can actually set this from 0.6 miles per hour, where the vehicle will either go up or down a hill and give you a consistent speed, and you can actually adjust that speed from what I understand with the up and down controls on here, I think up to 5 miles an hour as well. This is where you can switch on your auxiliaries, and you saw under the bonnet those wires and connection points ready to go. And what really is cool is that in the actual settings screens you can program how the auxiliary buttons are going to work. So if I just come into the apps area and I go into the settings, in here we should find the auxiliary switches. And actually, auxiliary switches, here we have aux 1 to 4, and you can choose how these work. You can either do it so it's latch, meaning when you press the button for latch, it means it's going to stay on. Momentary, obviously like a flash, and also you can choose whether you want it to be with the power setting for battery or ignition. Plus on top of that, it will allow you to recall the last state, meaning that if I want the lights to be on when I switch the vehicle on, they're going to come on immediately, or off, however you want it. I'm sure everyone's asking, well, what's going to be your first modification? I really think it's got to be this bumper. It looks horrendous, don't you think? I mean, it's huge, it sticks out, it looks nothing like the American version. We don't get the hooks on the front, so I think I've got to bite the bullet and actually get myself a nice winch bumper. They do already on these, if you can see underneath half, they do come with, on your side down there, a recovery point already fitted. That one's a black one. And if you look on the back, you will see that it has a nice red recovery point on there, nice and solid. Again, bumper is slightly different in the UK models, the European models. which have a pretty stupid piece down here as well, where it's holding the number plate rather than the American versions, which I think has it somewhere on the sides and the top here as well. But anyhow, so far my thoughts are, yeah, I like it. It's very different. It's a bit noisy, it's a bit agricultural, but then that's really what you want if you're a car enthusiast and you're wanting to look for something off-road. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. And we've actually got a members area now. We've got a few people on there. Really appreciate if anyone else wants to join as a member. We're going to be giving away some more stickers and getting some goodies out to you as well for those new members. So don't forget to like, subscribe and join the membership. Bye.